A high-throughput data ingestion pipeline, parsing the YouTube Data API, extracts a continuous stream of metrics and ad tracker pixels. To handle the constant variation in video schemas and third-party tracking payloads, the architecture relies on dynamic class loading to generate proxy classes at runtime. Execute this pipeline on a pre-Java 8 virtual machine, and it results in an abrupt crash. Notice the specific error code. The system didn't exhaust standard heap space. It exhausted the memory allocated for the structural blueprints of the classes. The Java virtual machine enforces a strict boundary between the dynamic state of an object and the class blueprint, the metadata that defines it. To fix this instability, we have to look at exactly how the JVM draws the line between an object's data and its structural metadata. This diagram shows how the JVM partitions its components using the YouTube video class model. When instantiating the class, the object's unique state routes to the heap. The specific video ID and duration variables map directly into this region. The internal representation of the class routes to a separate metadata region. This area holds the structural instructions, including the bytecodes for the calculate engagement method and the virtual method tables. The JVM specification also dictates how static variables are handled. The static platform variable routes directly into the heap, bypassing the metadata region entirely. Routing static variables to the heap corrects a persistent professional misconception. Many developers assume static data is stored with class metadata, but modern JVMs store it in the standard object space. Historically, the dedicated location for that class metadata region was known as the permanent generation, or PermGen. PermGen was designed as a fixed-size, contiguous block of memory located strictly within the constraints of the JVM heap space. Correctly routing instance data versus structural data is the baseline requirement for any Java application, but relying on fixed-size containers for dynamic blueprints creates a critical architectural flaw. Our YouTube analytics pipeline constantly processes unexpected third-party VAD trackers, like Taboola and TikTok pixels. To interact with these unmapped schemas, the system generates hundreds of new proxy classes on the fly in real time. In this visualization, the JVM class loader is continuously pushing these new pixel proxy blueprints directly into the metadata region. Because PermGen has a hard-coded maximum size, it lacks the elasticity to handle sudden spikes in proxy generation. The rigid PermGen container hits 100% capacity, overflows, and triggers a system-wide lock. The JVM cannot resize PermGen dynamically, causing the entire ingestion pipeline to halt immediately. In the past, infrastructure architects had to guess the required capacity via max perm size startup flags to prevent this crash. Predicting the exact metadata footprint for complex enterprise applications handling dynamic network requests is impossible. A fixed-size structural memory region is inherently incompatible with modern dynamically scaling software architecture. To resolve this bottleneck, Oracle eliminated PermGen entirely starting in Java 8. This is the architecture of Metaspace. It replaced the PermGen model with a system that operates entirely outside the JVM heap. Rather than being confined to the contiguous JVM heap, Metaspace utilizes native operating system memory. Now watch the pipeline generate an unexpected spike of new ad tracker proxy classes. The Metaspace block seamlessly expands its borders outward into the surrounding native memory space to absorb the new classes. This expansion is bounded only by the host machine's physical RAM, or a deliberately configured max Metaspace size limit. The operational impact is absolute. The application no longer crashes during dynamic workloads. Breaking the metadata out of the JVM heap allows the application's structural memory to scale as elastically as the underlying hardware. There is a caveat. Relying on infinite dynamic scaling without lifecycle management leads to native memory starvation. The JVM dictates that class metadata is only unloaded if its instantiating class loader dies. As shown here, all metadata blocks in Metaspace are physically tethered to the specific class loader that generated them. If the data scraper maintains an accidental reference to an old class loader, the proxy classes remain locked in Metaspace indefinitely. This creates a severe native memory leak that will eventually consume all host RAM. You have to maintain architectural hygiene. Ensure dynamic class loaders are dereferenced the moment they are no longer in use. Proper garbage collection resolves the metadata footprint. The collector sweeps the class loader from the heap, and immediately the tethered Metaspace blocks dissolve and vanish from native memory. Historically, dropping the metadata did not guarantee the native memory was efficiently returned to the OS due to fragmentation. Modern Java releases solved this by introducing JEP 387, Elastic Metaspace. JEP 387 overhauled the allocator to actively and promptly return freed native memory back to the operating system. Resilient infrastructure relies on the precise coordination of class loader lifecycles to ensure the native memory space